Ever wanted to be a water boy? You know, carry the water for the turkey team? Go Team Turkey on this Turkey Tuesday. Well, today we talk about water and sanitizing water lines. Aren't you lucky? So last loadout, semi. Loading up. Time to put some fuel in. I'm pretty sure that the warning light there is because I'm in hyperspeed. I think, can you see that? That's a rabbit. Oh yeah. This thing is turbo boosted. So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning on a loadout. And barn 2 was the first barn that we took out, and so there's no birds in it. I'm ready to start rinsing and washing the walls and ceiling and stuff. And so I got the barn washer, which is on that John Deere tractor, ready, and water's ready, everything's ready, except I took the 2 hoses that I use for this to Osage Farm to do some pumping on a cistern, and never brought them back. Yeah. So I could run over there, and I probably should, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to be off on my time. So what I got to do, they'll take half of barn 3 tonight, and I'll go and I have to, so I've raised up all the waters and feeders so that they could do what they needed to do to load birds. And then when they get done, I've got to put that stuff back down in order for the birds to have water and feed for tomorrow, and turn around and do it again. It's one of the interesting things about loadout. I've done it 3 different ways, I believe it is now. Typically is they take half the farm one night, half the farm the next night. I did have one time they took all 3 barns one night. I did have one time where they took 1 barn a night. And I can tell you, either 3 or 1 a night is easier on the body, on me, than this 1.5. I got to do twice the amount of work when they take 1.5, because half the barn is still here for needing water and feed. But it is what it is. I signed up. Always remember that. The ownership comes back to me. I signed up to do this. So there's one of the things a person could ask if they were doing this again, or you're getting ready to start. When I started, there wasn't anything out there that I could look at to give me an idea of what I was getting into, other than find a farmer that would let me observe, you know, and you don't know what you don't know. Anyways, that's why I'm sweeping, because I forgot the hoses over yonder. But this needs a good clean out. It builds up over time, and this is a good time to do it. I decided I better go get the hoses, so at the very minimum I can have the water loaded. So we got the other one over there. Tilling the litter, trying to get it dried out. Takes a while, but we're moving. It was suggested to us to, what we want to do is we want to put litter using our manure spreader, put fresh litter in the barn. And it was suggested that what we could do is go get some lime and make us a kind of a pad, put the litter on that, and that way I can load outdoors and not have to be subject to the height of the ceiling. What we typically do is we push the sawdust in the barn off of the semi and then spread it around with a skid steer. Because we haven't removed the litter that's inside, that gets to be pretty tough to spread it good with the skid steer, versus when we go do it and we just spread it on a hard clay floor, pretty easy. So litter guy suggested doing this. Shadow's getting another semi of lime. Gonna make a pad here, and then if a little bit of lime gets in there, whoopee, no big deal. But this way we're not getting big rocks, hopefully, and we can spread that out in there and do a good job. That's our hope. We'll see how this works. So we're going back with 1 semi load of litter per barn instead of 2, what we normally would do, 2. Ideally, this would be about 2-3 inches, and it does pack well. I'm surprised at how well it does pack, but it does. So hopefully we can keep all of the litter, I hope, on this pad. Whew. Well, they're upset in there, aren't they? We'll keep this on this pad and go into the barns this way. Now tonight, we're gonna finish taking out, this is barn 3, the north barn. Gonna finish taking out birds here and then go, not this one, that one, and get those out tonight. Tonight's, I haven't even said the joke yet. Tonight's crowd here, they're going out, and so what we're doing is, let's see if I can get my finger on, we're raising the feeders right here beside me, raising the waters. Now I raise the feeders about chest high and I'll dump them, so I get rid of the excess feed and go through and dump each one of them. I think there's 75 per line, so 150 of them things. And then the waters, everything goes up to the ceiling, and then that way they're ready to load out. The load out crew, they'll come and they'll get themselves situated in the end behind me and take the birds out that way. That's typically what we do. So I have, along with my everyday chores, then this takes an additional hour and, well, just getting the lines up takes about an hour, but dumping the pans takes about another hour and a half to 2 hours, so per barn. Now again, I'm taking 1.5 barns. 1.5 barns went out last night. This half of this barn is gone. But I still got to come over here and do this again. So anyway, that's what's going on for tonight, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Working here in barn 3. We're tilling the previous flock's litter. This is trying something a little bit different. We've reduced the amount of water that's in the barn, washing and rinsing it. So now I'm going to till up the litter, get it loosened back up, flip the fans on, try to air dry. What Mother Nature typically does in our fields. Try to do that mechanically, and then we will put some fresh litter on top, and kind of, I think they call that top dressing for turkey litter. As I say, this is new to us. We've done a little different things, so we're even going to try spreading the litter a little different. We're going to stockpile it outside. It's supposed to, and not rain. And I don't know, it doesn't matter what apps I got. They did not accurately forecast today's rain. So it's not supposed to rain. We're going to load the spreader outside, then come in and broadcast the litter on top. And then we'll be ready for, well, we got a bunch of repairs to do, but then we'll be ready for some birds. typically that is a line of manure. And the dark is wetter, and that's the manure. Now what's interesting is, oh, I wish the dust would go away. Murdery stuff. Up here in a dark line of manure under the drinkers. Let me just move up there. That spot there, no manure. Obviously the drinkers are not working there. I've seen it on this particular line 2 or 3 places, and there was a spot over there. So around the feeders, now I've still got one more barn to do this in. Around the feeders there's rings. Again, where the birds have stood eating, and the manure piles up in a ring. Same thing you need to have happen there. So it's interesting, if you get a barn with patches like this right here, your barn is not running efficiently, and so you've got weak spots. And in this barn I've got several, it looks like, and we'll have to dress them. I'm not super excited about that, but it just may be the way it is. So there's no sense of me. You can't deny it is what it is, right? I'm ready to go home. Oh, goodness. Been a long day. It is 2:30 in the a.m. We have 2 barns empty. About 1 semi-load or so. I think we're waiting on a truck. Quick update, it's 3:08. Hey, that rhymed. And the load-out crew says it's going to be 2 more hours. Oh boy. Fresh new sawdust, and putting it in that gizmo there and spreading it in the barns. I got barn 2, which is this one here behind me. Got it done. Have not got to that one back there yet. So got about, well, this will be the 3rd load in there. Shadow's loading me. It is a dusty job. Last load of new litter coming in. Last load of litter for barn 3. And as you can see, Dad's down there washing on the combine. So lots of activity here. Lots of activity. Been asked before whether we recycle or not. I say yes, we do. This here is ground up wood chips, mainly from children's wooden toys that they don't want, DIY and Pinterest projects that went terribly wrong, stuff like that. Woodworkers that just flat are terrible. That's where we get our wood chip. We recycle that stuff. Shadow Man helping me clean up the pile. About got her whip. So today I've got to put down all these in each barn. I've got to flush the dirty water out of it, and then we're going to put a cleanser, a chemical in there that cleans that up inside. This is, right there is the water line. Clean that up, and each barn has 6 of these, and I've got to do them individually so that I know I've got chemical in each one. So 6 times 3 barns, so I've got 18 of those to do, and I don't know, but I'm going to try to beat my record. And so I think my old record was like 3 or 4 days because I had a lawn chair and I had to drink a soda down there. And that one barn, the sun comes in, it's a nice spot to take a nap. But I'm not going to do that today because I got other things to do. So 6 lines each barn, 18 lines. I'm going to zip them out and do that pretty quick here. So here's what it looks like. The waters are down. Up in here, so on, they're down. And this water has been flushing for 15 minutes or so with a chemical coming in. So the way my system is set up, water comes in the middle and down. And what I do when I'm putting the chemical in is I'll flush and put chemical in this one, sanitizer, and sanitizer in that one. That one flushes out to the outside that way. This one flushes out the outside this way. So I'm gonna turn this back off. But I don't do that when I go to flush the lines for the birds to drink. What I do then is I do each, it takes a little bit longer, but I do each one individually. And I make sure that the water coming out, and what happens is it drops outside the building. Maybe I'll show that. It drops outside the building and it foams. Well, when it stops foaming, that's when I know I'm in good shape. I don't think you can hear that, but the water is running through there. So now I'm going to put the chemical in this one and this one. Sounds like I need to work on a fan. Okay. All right. So barn 1 is flushing on the last set of lines. Barn 2 is flushing on the middle. This is barn 3. So that's the water coming out. Actually, it just kind of burped there, where that's the difference between what the chemical and the water that's already in there. So when you look down here, you see a little bit of suds from the last one, and it'll get real sudsy when it's for sure going through. The other thing, see if I can, you can start to see dirty water, especially when you first turn on. You can see all the dirt that was in it. Now last time I was using, most of the flock I was using rural water versus the lake water. There you start to see some foam coming out, some suds, what have you. Okay. Now what's not good is when it really freezes up right here. That's not good. I speak from experience. Now here in barn 2, you might say, well, this group of birds did really good this last time, and they did. Why do you need to clean, or why do you need to sanitize the inside of a water tube? Well, just like what we do at home in washing machines, dishwashers, over time there gets to be different biofilm, bio stuff, whatever it is, and it builds up. So what we do is we run the cleanser every flock, so if there was something, it's gone. And if you read the contents of the containers, of this sanitizer. It's got on there for food prep. I thought that was interesting. They would use it in like large kitchens, or you could use it in your own home kitchen, but it comes in 2.5 gallon jugs. So I mean, we're not talking about small quantities here, but you would use it to clean whatever surfaces, and it goes through and tells you, if it's this so long a time, if it's that, do it for this amount of time, or this quantity, or solution dilution. Kind of like Saturday morning cartoons used to be. So in this case, 24 hours in the line, and it's a 1 to 128, so it's 1 ounce to 1 gallon of water, and that solution goes in here. Thereby, when the birds come back, and I've flushed this properly and done that's going to be a factor we've eliminated. So that's the key. I want to eliminate as many factors that cause the birds harm and doesn't make them have a great day every day. That's the goal. They're loving every minute of being here. So we're eliminating that. There's one more thing. Quick note on light bulbs. This is a fascinating thing. I'm not going to be able to show the lights very well because of the glare. Anyways, that light bulb, maybe I'll get one out of the shop that we took out. That particular light bulb right there, the one I'm looking at, no, that one, well, and that one, other one. Those light bulbs have been in here over 6 years. And I am replacing bulbs like that one that I've already replaced. Some of them I've placed twice, 3 times. Fascinating. Now that one, I've looked for it. It's a Philips light bulb, and I can't find it, but they're LEDs, and they're super. A lot of light bulbs in here. We've replaced about $200 of bulbs this last time. Yep. So, here we are in the world headquarters for turkey in Clark County. And the reason I say that is because there's no other turkeys in Clark County. And there are no turkeys in Edgar County, and there's no turkeys probably in Coles County, other than wild turkeys. Now, as we go south, there are some turkeys there. And what I mean by all that is I'm not an expert by any means. I have help. What kind of help do I have? I have the support of the company that I sell birds to, or I raise birds for, however you look at it. And they have flock supervisors that bring me information. Some of them have provided books and some different online training things. I listen to podcasts in the turkey industry as well about different diseases, disease paths, how we can stop the spread of those and different things like that, bird health in general. So as I tell you this stuff, I'm not going to say that this is exactly the way you ought to do it or ought to be done or any of that stuff. All I'm showing you is how I do it. It can be different. If there is a better way, man, would I like to know it. So, not an expert, just showing you what we do. I haven't just thought about all this and all of a sudden my brain exploded and pooh, here we got this. So a lot of people have helped along the way. And that is important in whatever endeavor you go into and whatever business it is, or whether it's livestock, cattle, hogs, fish, ducks, quail, pheasants, turkeys, chickens, whatever it is. We can learn from what has been done. Now that doesn't mean that we always have to do it the way we've done it, because I can't go ask my neighbor, how did you do this? There is no one to ask. But I got some mentors that I can go ask on the turkeys. But at the same time, one of them, very, very good bird raiser, awesome, number 1, top 5 of his state all the time, has been for years, and he does things that work in his farm, in his barn, according to his equipment, and it works. might not translate to working on my farm, my barns, my equipment. For example, my controllers are different than his. His are dials and you turn them. Mine is a computer that may or may not have a brain that, you know, they're different. That's what I'm saying. So, as you consider these things, may not work on your farm. They might. A version of it might work on your farm. Might not. So, that's what I know about that. As one of our family friends used to say, that's what I know about that. So, as I'm waiting for this water to keep draining, I'm almost done one. Hear that clicking? That's the medicators putting that cleanser in there. I'm going to take 5 because it will only take a minute. Only take a minute. Don't worry about that. Sure. Sometimes you have this. Got me wet. Oh my goodness. Let's not do this anymore. What is wrong with you anyway? All right. Okay, that took 2 hands. Unfortunately, somehow I'm gonna run a little bit more through that. And that probably was the reason that there wasn't much water coming out of that end. Look at that. Unfortunately, that's a mess. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so I've let that run a little bit. Now I'm gonna shut it back down. That has chemical in it, as well as all of this barn. This is barn 1. So we let that sit the 24 hours. And in 24 hours, I'll come back and flush that individual like. And then we'll be on to the next thing. So the next thing in here would be to disinfect with a industrial disinfectant for livestock. Make sure we kill anything in here that's germ-wise. After that, we're gonna put some bug spray down for beetles. And that will be about ready for the birds to show back up. Here in barn 2, just finished the flushing of the chemical in. And speaking of cleansing, I'm thankful for a Savior that cleanses me, because I am never going to be good enough. But through Him, through Jesus, I have a Savior. Personal best, about an hour and 40 minutes. Could be better. So with that, I am done at barn 3. All of them got the chemical in it. 4,500 steps is what it said, which is, I've got a 2.5 foot step, and was 2.13 miles, so under 2.25 miles, which is, that's not bad, because if I walk every barn, you know, in a flock, when the flock's in there, and if I walk every aisle, so it's about 3, so not too bad. I feel it though. Anyways, hey, thanks a lot. That's how you put in sanitizer in the turkey barns on this Turkey Tuesday. So thank you for dropping by.
Like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Ask your questions so we can all learn together. Come and grow with us.